So I have got a good tip, I think, for you guys, and a very useful idea. About 6 years ago, I got a hold of some IBC totes, and the plastic wasn't so good, so I tossed them and I had the frame. And I thought, what could I use these for? And everybody at the time seemed like they were using them for firewood. And to me, it just didn't seem like that was the best use of an IBC tote frame. So they kind of sat around for a little while, and then I got thinking about it, and I want to show you how I use them. All right, so here we are. I've got two IBC tote frames, you can see right along the side there. And as you can see, I've got some metal studs in here. I've got some timbers. I've got some very thick C-channel right there. Some lighter stuff. We've got conduit, ground rods. What else we got here? This is material that goes over the top of OSB, you know, and kind of covers up that edge. Rebar. So the potential is unlimited here. You can see I've got 6x6s in there. I've got 2x3s. I've got 4x4s, 4x6s. And there's just, and I'm going to tell you, there's probably a ton of weight, literally, on each one of these. There's a lot of weight. These things can support a lot. So, if you have any kind of long stock, like what you see here, this is probably going to be one of the best uses for it. One thing I like is, see, if you stack this lumber up outside, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but we got these old pieces of sheet steel roofing that I got for free. And all I've done with this stuff is, if you look here, I've wired it on here. Now I've gotten probably 70-mile-an-hour winds coming through here, and I might lose a couple things off the top. But as far as everything on the IBC tote frame and those panel sheets up on top, they stay put. I put a little bit of weight up on top to just kind of hold them down too, because they do, you know, if you get that kind of wind, anything's going to flop around a little. But I never have lost it, so that's how I attach that. You know, I've got square stock. There's some I-beams back there. Here's some really thick German steel C-channel. There's some very thick square tube down there. So everything under here stays fairly dry. I don't have to worry about it. Now, if you stack up lumber on top of each other and then it rains, you end up with waterlogged lumber, and it eventually rots away and bugs get in it. And so the way this is here, being that it's covered, it doesn't get really wet. And if it does get wet, it dries out really quick. So that's one benefit of having it like this. Now, I was on Marketplace earlier today, and I seen a guy had these IBC totes. They had the plastic liner in them, but I seen them for $10 a piece. Now that's some very cheap storage for $10. If you can get one of those or two of them, look at how much you can put on it. You know, I don't have a whole lot of indoor space to be storing this stuff, and it's fine out here. I haven't had any issues with the lumber drooping or anything like that. They're wide enough that it holds it in the right spot so that it doesn't want to bend, you know what I mean? So this is it's been one of the best ideas I've had. And honestly, I haven't seen a single video or a single person on YouTube that has shown this idea. So I thought, I was out here cleaning yesterday and organizing, and I thought, you know, I don't think a lot of people have thought about this. So hopefully you guys like this and you got some ideas, and it's cheap. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my firewood and how I do that. So this here is my firewood, and I feel like it's a lot more user-friendly to do it this way. And what I've done is I've gotten a bunch of pellets. These pellets are all identical. They're 48 by 48, and I went 48 inches high. And what that does is it allows me to look at it and say, oh, there's a half a cord there, a half a cord there. I know exactly how much firewood I've got. So the way I did this is I cut these 3 2x4s and stacked the center, and I stacked the outsides to 4 foot high, and I attached them at the bottom here with through bolts. I got those for free. They reused and they work very well. That way you don't have to worry about these 2x4s pulling off. So I did that on both sides, and I don't support it at all across there, and you can see that it holds up pretty well. It does flare out a little bit, but it holds all the firewood. Now what my plan is this winter is when I need to get firewood, I come out here and grab one of these and I take it to the barn. Once this is empty, I'll exchange it. I'll bring the empty one out, grab another one, and take it back. And we're just going to keep on going down the line until I use it all up. Now, one thing I thought about when I was doing this, and maybe this is a whole separate video that I should do on this, but I didn't want the pallets sitting on the ground. And I thought about it for a long time. How am I going to do that? Because you have the pallets on the ground. For one, they're going to rot. For two, in the wintertime, they're going to stick. So you're going to lift that pallet up and you're going to rip those bottom boards right off, because the bottom boards are going to stick to the ground. So I thought, how am I going to accomplish that? And I had a solution for that too. Let's go look at it. Okay, so back here in the wooded area, I've got these frames. These frames are 18 feet long. And where I work, these things are scrap metal. We cut them up and we throw them in the scrap bin. So what I'll do is, it's got these square tubes that are welded up on top, and I'll cut those off. And I'll set that frame right on the ground, and then I put my pallets on top of them. Being that this is 18 feet long and I've got 4 4-foot wide skids, that leaves me, what, 6 inches between, maybe? If I'm probably not doing my math right, but it leaves a good space between them. So that's how I keep the pallets in good shape. I keep them up off of the ground. All right, so that's how I do it. Really hope you guys learned something from this. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments section below. I do try to get to everybody's questions when they have them. And I'm here because I want to help you guys and hopefully have some ideas that maybe you haven't thought of. And that's what we're about. We just want to learn. So you guys take care. I'll see you on the next video.